Team Dignitas, or at least a good couple of players from that lineup, and no strangers to the studio. Back in God knows how long ago it was, in the EMS days, they were certainly mainstays in this before, you know, everyone kind of split apart and went their own ways. They have been here before. They played on these stages not too long ago. They're certainly accustomed to their surroundings. So it'd be great to see them doing well again. I just want to see what they can bring on a start out CT side. You know, everyone going on about the T side that they showed up with. I want to see how well they can now start out and actually build that lead from the other side of things.
Yeah, whereas TSM have definitely improved and stepped up their T side themselves since Carrigan joined the fray. It's something they worked on when he joined back in February, when then Dignitas switched across to TSM. It's pretty confusing when the organizations definitely do that, and when, of course, the new team meets each other. But Dignitas, they've got a couple of superstars of their own, as was pointed out. Kirby, the 16-year-old up-and-comer, is definitely setting the world alight a little bit for the Danish scene.
Well, it's always great to see these players as well in such a perfect atmosphere that they can actually really display what they're made of and under real pressure. So I want to see how well he performs in this. I don't think there's any question that he can. It's just whether or not we see it in this game. I think we are just getting that last player back in for TSM. We are almost ready to start up the pistol now. So as said before, I do believe it'll be Team Dignitas starting out on the CT side here, and TSM will be on the T side, kicking off in Inferno pretty darn soon.
Yep, good luck, have fun exchange, and we are live. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is the ESL Pro League, and this is the winner brackets to see who will get through to the semi-finals tomorrow. More importantly, we'll see who they face later on after this one, as Titan Envy will follow this matchup. But it is a best of three. A lot of action to happen between the Danes right now.
Such phenomenal games coming up, and it's always great when you get these kind of showdowns of the same regions and teams know each other so well, almost inside out to a degree at times. And time again, they'll tell you, I think it was Kenny S. who was saying that when it comes down to these, actually no, excuse me, MBK was saying that when it comes down to these kind of regional matchups, it becomes a 50-50. Everyone knows each other so well, it can go either way. However, on paper, you'd certainly give it towards the TSM side and towards this one. But already, let's have a look at what we're seeing into this round. We do have the Tech-9 board up for Cajun in this, so let's see what Cajun's going to take that one. Cajun B just eyeing up the B-bomb site. AZ and MSL will be there. Pimp being a little forced back in the CT option. Actually, Zipnix and Dupree going to break through. And they could actually sandwich in this B site damn well here, and I'm not sure how aware Pimp is of this. And well, AZ's certainly going to find out very soon. Stunner of a shot to keep things off as Zipnix goes down.
The rest of the team do come through. They're going to get the flashed out quickly, but AZ is not able to land the shot, which means he's all alone now on B site. You see Dupree, they all know he's on new box. They will take him down. And now the retake is on for Dignitas. Smoked off CT side. Kirby makes his way up Banana. Carrigan just waiting. Two of them and Banana waiting for him. He's going to get tagged up heavily. He's not able to take them down. It's down to Nico and Pimp to see if they can get on the site. As Nico comes around, he will find one. Won't manage to land the shot, though. And it was simple cleanup for TSM in the end. Everybody getting away with pretty low hit points, but they all survive in the end. And first round solidly taken by TSM.
That was a brilliant split through that CT arch there, pushing two of those players through. Pimp kind of being left unawares almost to a degree and unable to do much about it by that point. And they just kind of sandwiched in.
It's 3 MP9s and Carrigan, Zipnix and Cadian. You're going to see what they can do with it. Of course, Cajun B had that Tech-9 from the first round, but Dupree favouring the see if it's going to work out for him.
The UMP is becoming a bit of a common stay almost. I guess it's because I get to watch 3D Max just a second ago. Nice flashes coming out from Dig, slowing down the play towards mid there and allowing Pimp maybe to adjust just a touch as Nico will go fishing for a pick as Zipnix will find him. And it looks like they might be able to maintain something fairly clean here, but committing a hell of a lot. Pimp goes down and that should be A looking fairly open.
Kirby still lingering, but look at that. Zipnix checks the spot, not letting anything through. MSL actually going to push through the smoke, try and get back into quad behind them. Is anyone looking back? No, they're not. They do manage to get one down, but not the second. And that CZ spray not working out for him. AZ has managed to recover. Cajun B's Tech-9. Is he just going to simply hold it? Yes, he will. He's going to back out into the T-spawn.
Yeah, with that head armor as well, I don't think he'd want to commit too much here. He might be able to get one on the way up, but Dupree's actually peeking there. The UMP not exactly bad on that sort of range, still has the possibility of closing that one out. So all in all, TSM, once again, solid, just really, really solid, just following up nicely. They do lose out on two, so obviously Cajun and Cadian there going out, but not the end of the world. They close out the round, get the bomb plant, and AZ gets to just about keep that Tech-9.
Yeah, just going to see and close the round out. We'll see if it works out. But as it stands, 2-0. Solid start for TSM. And Dignitas now. Are they going to go for a third round, or are they going to save up? Let's see what they go. I can see that obviously the AZ with the Tech 9 that he managed to rescue. It is going to be a solid save, so see if they're going to stack a site out. It will be a B, 5-man stack from Dignitas. We'll see if this works out for them. See if TSM choose to go that direction. Carrigan and Cajun B are peeling off that way. And nobody peeking from Dignitas. This is going to be a full passive. Everybody hide. Everybody surprise them. Just the one standard position in and around the CT spawn.
I'm a little surprised they put a 5-man stack rather than the 4-1 we saw in the previous game, but if TSM fall for it, I'd also be very surprised. They're still not committing the bomb anywhere. It's still at the bottom mid, and Cajun B starting to have a little bit of a peek here, and if he does commit, he could get caught out very early on. Nico's in a good spot just to peek around the corner. And of course, the two players waiting at first and second box, they're Pimp and AZ, so Zipnik's starting to look. Cajun B does find MSL. It's a matter of time. I think they've caught on to the idea in here, and Cajun B's backing away. They've certainly found out, as likes of Zipnik's, Dupree and Cadian have made their way up CT Arch.
Yeah, they've got full vision of A, and it's like, nobody's here, guys. Where are they all? They're all going to be stacking out. And they are going to get Cajun B down, which means they've managed to rescue that MP9 away from him. Now they're going to be 3 men piling down the mid. Let's see if they can go for a retake here as TSM get that bomb plant down over on the A site. And they're going to make their way through there. It is going to be Pim that heads his way first in there with the P250. The rest of the team coming up second mid in support. And looks like they're just going to try and maybe go for the exits. I don't think they're going to try and go for the retake here. Going to see if they can get every gun away from TSM.
It might catch Carrigan, but I don't see anything beyond that. It's going to be Nico actually to go down to him. So even with just that USPS, he's been able to do so much work. Cadian finds Pimp, and now, well, AZ was a mile away from the start. He's been hiding out at B the whole time, and Carrigan's still lurking away. And, well, Cadian found one of the last members. AZ gets to stay alive again. It's 2 rounds in a row. He's been able to maintain that head armor and the Tech 9. He'll be able to get on to a little bit of a bye here with the rest of his team. And finally, we'll get to see what Team Dignitas might be able to bring now on the CT side on their first big buy-up.
Yeah, so let's see where they go with this one. 2 FAMASs picked up by Pimp and MSL. They haven't really got too much in those opening 3 rounds. Just the 4 franks across the entire Dignitas team for the first 3. There goes the grenades. And it is going to be a much slower approach, as you would expect from TSM, knowing full well they're going up against M4s. TSM themselves, and 4 AKs down, trying to rattle something through the smoke, but nothing really open to them. AZ, you can see through the X-ray, just lingering around the corner of Banana, but it's the apartment push that actually TSM have gone through. They've got 2 members in there, but they're choosing to back away, and it looks like it's going to be a B play.
Well, they've got the early control, but they don't have the full control of Banana. I was surprised they'd even consider it yet. With a fair bit of time, they've worked another smoke away from the CT side, but you can still see that MSL's got his. There's 2 flashes on AZ, a couple flashes on Pimp, still 1 on Nico. They can still do a little bit of work here. However, after this, it's going to be just going in as it is, and the CT side is just going to try and weather the storm. Still got a molly as well on MSL, so he can even slow them down further on B. With 40 seconds left, smoke goes down again. They might have to just flash themselves through here and actually go for it. Zipnik's going to start lurking over towards A, but Cajun and Carrigan are the players to spearhead over at B. Whether or not they find anything is the big question. And here we go. They are going to flash themselves through here. MSL is ready and waiting. Spots out 1, but it's AZ coming up big, taking down Cajun and Carrigan. And it's looking like it's going to be a Team Dignitas round here as the rest of the T-side are being slaughtered as they push in.
Solid defensive work. They were ready and waiting for that one. Nico's already rotated as well, so they've got full cover on this one. Just the last. Zipnik's recovered the bomb and going to try and run away, but he's going straight into Kiebu. And he will take him down, Kiebu, quite easily. Good, solid defensive work from Dignitas. You know, they stacked up the smokes and TSM were just delayed for so long. And like you said, you questioned the rotate. It came so quick that they decided, okay, B site is where we're going, despite the fact we've got 2 guys in apartments already.
It's just working down the smokes, I guess, and where they felt most comfortable, whatever they read into it. But the work between MSL and AZ was brilliant. I think they got 2 each into that round, and it was just wonderfully done, buying the time. The early smoke comes out. I believe that's from I think it is from KAB. I'm not sure. I'll towards Banana, but regardless of that, the T-side are starting to head up towards mid, starting to speed up a little, maybe looking to just try and catch him out before all those smokes get put into play, and Dupree finding Nico will open up CT Arch, forcing Pimp to adjust and leave just one man, locking down that quad push.
Well, Pimp's going to flash himself out. He will find one, but no, Dupree gets him just before the smoke goes down. Zipnik's now also going to make the push in towards Pit. Kirby is there, AZ on the rotate, coming through Library. He's got two to the right of him, but he's going to get smoked out, flashed out. Cajun B spins, gets him through Library. Here's the footsteps. Kirby has managed to keep himself silent in the back corner. Will get one down, but now they know that he's in the smoke. He's going to try and pop flash himself out of there. Will manage to get down and get Zipnik's down. The grenade will find its target, but not before Cadian pushes through. And it was a clean take once again for TSM. 4-1 now the score. Starting to get themselves a good lead on T-side.
Yeah, and Cadian even had so much to work with still in that round. I think he still had a molly and a couple of flashes that he could have put into practice. But I like that. They sped up a little. They didn't allow so much control, it seems, for Team Dignitas that time. And look at the state of Team Dignitas' buy here. You've got still just a USPS, a couple of P250s, a CZ on literally one of the plays. They have nothing to work with. We've seen the power of what the CZ can do, but that, I believe, was a complete force-up before. In the game with Titan there, if you can throw your minds back to that not too long ago. This should be a clean one for TSM, but already Cajun B taking a little bit of damage, and AZ left to deal with a hell of a lot here as Cadian will deal with him, and that's B completely open.
Yeah, Kirby is going to find Carrigan.
That's the bomb as well.
Oh no, he needed to land that frag. Had to get it, didn't get a tag down on him too heavily. Carrigan now just on 32 health, pushing through. Like you said, that was the bomb carrier, but look at this. Look at the speed of TSM, the fast rotate. It's a race, a foot race straight in there. Nico is going to get there, but he's going to go headlong into Cajun B. He's already in position. The smoke now going down will block them off from CT. They're going to rotate all the way through construction. Nico already there, gets himself onto spools, gets one, won't get the second, has to back away. The rest of Dignitas stacking up behind him, but they are all smoked off.
Yeah, bomb plant down at Barbecue. They know that they've got the control of that to a degree as Dupree takes down Nico, leaving just two in this to try and get back into the side, but Dupree denies at the edge of that smoke as Pimp, last man in this, maybe looking to pick up an AK, take one away, but he's limited to so few options here, kind of stuck in between a rock and a hard place as the rest of TSM start peeling off the site, and I don't think he's got the time for this, nor the damage. Dupree, well, Pink did get one towards Cajun B, but Dupree was there, and TSM really starting to stretch their legs on the T side, and that's quite dangerous.
Yeah, starting to stack them some serious money as well, which is a bit of a problem for them. So 5-1 now. TSM already going to be happy with their T side. Let's see if they can extend it any more. Dignitas really need to invest, and they have got themselves the ore. We'll see what Nico can do with this one. He's going to get a peek straight down mid, see if he can get any of the openers like Kenny was.
Glass cannon as well.
He doesn't look... Oh, ever so close, and he does get Cadian down. That's what they needed. That's the opener. And say glass cannon or not, if you can get that opening frag, it's already paid for itself.
Yeah, pretty dangerous. But Team Dignitas may be feeling confident now they can get a bit of a better buy, I guess you could call it. But still, 1 minute left. They've got 3 smokes left. They can still buy so much time. Last time it forced TSM to play through it, use those flashes on towards B, but this time they're lining up towards A, maybe looking for that execute. Not finding anyone peeking now as the vast majority of Dignitas starting to sit a little bit further back. You got Pimp sitting back a little more, Nico holding that peak, but Cajun B finding MSL, might find a weakness in towards B, but it looks like TSM doesn't care. They want to go straight towards Arch, and Nico going to go back out. He gets the flash towards one, lovely shot towards Zitnik, follows up well towards Dupree, and now just 2 left in this for TSM, and they've got a real struggle on their hands.
Well, that glass cannon gets himself the triple now, so absolutely, the gamble worked, the double flash, perfectly done, but Carrigan, this is risky business because he's having to step on through, try and use the smoke to shield his way in there, waiting for the support. Cajun B's the man that's going to get around the side, but he manages to spot out Kievu, already seeing him. They're going to be taking their eye off Carrigan. Carrigan does manage to hop up on truck and get one down, but there's a second in the pit, and that was Pimp, and I don't think they counted on him being there. The molly will work out from Cajun B. It's going to flush him out to the right, but it just gives Pimp the chance to go out and get himself his double. And now Dignitas, an all-important second round for them there. Nico, like you said, glass cannon, paid off, got himself the triple. Now the head armor's back on. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, and I'm so impressed, considering this is a guy who just said, I kind of like the AWP now, you can kind of see why. The quote is certainly staying true to form. He's going to switch up this time, going to head up over towards B. So MSL going to sit towards CT Arch, and you can see him going straight in. He's feeling confident. Looks like he wants to go for the opener, not going to find it that time. Going to back out. and just hold the angle. So already maybe looking for that counter pick. Cadian being a little cautious there and trying to set Cajun B up for the peak. So this could be the Orc v Orc battle that a lot of people wait on, and Cajun B comes out good, holding the angle, and Nico goes down.
It's the danger of the slow creep in with the new Orc. Get yourself into that car. This is a risky play from AZ, considering he knows that Cajun B is going to be focused completely on there. Does manage to get that Orc rescued away, though, with that smoke. And that will be now in the hands of AZ, but he is all alone currently on that B site. Looks like Kirby is going to be the man that rotates, but that's buying time for TSM to see if they can prod and pray their way in there.
I think they saw AZ picking up the AWP as well. I'm pretty sure Cajun B
Yep.
saw the FAMAS being switched over. Not too sure. I'm pretty certain though. And MSL, as you said, did get himself over there. So it's a 2-2 split. Pimp and Cajun B just sticking around A. And look, he's going hunting in towards App. So they're working out that they're not actually at A. They're going to know what's up already. So AZ is going to be holding this angle like a champ. Does get flashed a touch. Going to have to peek back out. He spots at least two working their way forward. He gets the double. AZ denies at the door, but Cadian breaks through. And now MSL has to try and pick up the pieces of the B side. Bomb will surely be going down, and Dupree sneaking himself through to a beautiful angle. He can just hold and wait, see if Pint pushes through, but now in a 1v3, he's going to have to hold the nerve perfectly, as surely the bomb will be defused soon enough. Dupree gives away the game, but now 1v2, can he pull it off? Does get the tag, gets the frag to follow. Now 1v1, he's sticking the defuse, and MSL right under his nose, just absolutely balls of steel in that situation.
Managed to stick it. There's the double. Replay from AZ. And that was so important. Dignitas getting themselves the third round. It was a fully invested. And TSM, they've got enough money to buy themselves back into it, but not completely. You can see it's going to be 2 Tech 9s for them this time around. Xyp9x and Cadian and that Galil. So TSM forcing themselves into this one. We'll see where it goes for them, especially considering they had the opening AWP frag. It was around that maybe they're going to feel they should have taken. But it can't play on their mind too heavily as Dignitas look to pick themselves up the 4th round. TSM just slowly approaching this one. Not a lot of smokes coming out from Dignitas. They're delaying this one nicely. There's going to be one. That's going to be TSM. They smoke off Arch, and that means they're going to be rushing onto quad.
Well, they've slowed themselves down, though. They didn't commit. They forced them
It's
back.
a fake. Nice.
But AZ knows. AZ's still watching on Banana. He knows that they've not pushed up just yet. Going to drop down a nice deep smoke, allow them to stack 4 there. And this slight hesitation, delay, whatever you want to call it, might have cost them, but Dupree finding Pimp certainly won't, and that could now be A looking a lot more vulnerable.
I think the counter smoke was enough to slow them down. Carrigan getting tagged up, but he manages to find MSL through the smoke. Kirby in the pit, but he's getting caught out, forced into between a rock and a hard place. And that hard place was Xyp9x with a Tech 9. AZ now the last man, comes around, but he's running straight into smoke. He's going to be walking out onto Cadian, backs away, goes back through Boiler. Tries to delay, but he's in a 4-on-1 situation. I think he's just going to try and get some exits here. That's all he can really hope for. Unless he can sneak his way in. No kit either, so no chance of being anything but stealthy. He just has to hold on.
So he does, and look at Dupree's performance. And the CT side, money-wise, are in dire straits here. Whew. Dupree, 13-3 so far, and they've been important rounds. Bomb does go, and more money for the T side. This is the thing. They're starting to build a good bit of bank here, TSM, and so they can start padding it out for them, giving them a little bit more flex here on that T side.
Yeah, well, I mean, they forced that round, remember, and it's paid off for them. It was just 2 Tech 9s. That's all they went in with, Galil and 2 AKs, and it's completely paid off. And now, of course, we see everybody completely bought up. But Dignitas, now they're in a little bit of problems. AZ, it's going to be a rush. It's the nade strat rush. Is it going to work out well for them? It doesn't look like it, because TSM have delayed on this one. They should just be able to gun them down at the bottom of mid, but it is going to be TSM. They tried to get 1. They got 2 out of it. It's not a bad rush overall, but pretty sure there was a rifle in there, wasn't there? I think it was AZ that had the rifle. So
Not too sure. I didn't
risky.
spot it. But regardless, they got 2 players down. They're starting to build themselves back into the, at least, money system there. Well, on 2.5, maxing out about 3 at the moment, I think. So they are still on a bit of an eco. They're still looking for something. They're probably going to do the stack again. This time, it's not the 5-man stack towards B. It's a 4-1 split. We're going to be seeing Nico, AZ, MSL, and Pimp starting to work their way down. You can see the stack. They're literally just so close to the verge. But TSM don't even have a player there at the moment.
3-man stack at Sandbags. Let's see if they can catch him by surprise. It kind of worked out for Apex and RPK.
I guess they're doing the pop flash and then allowing those two to push through if they hear anything.
Well, KGB's there with the AWP. He's going to get one down. If they could try and rush him down, it's exactly what they're going to do. They do get the AWP out of his hands. The rest of the team were not there for the revenge either, so that's going to be the AWP in Nico's hand now. And that bomb making its way through apartments. MSL is going to be charging on through the smoke. Carrigan is ready and waiting, though, around the corner, so they decide to slow things down and let's see if they can get Nico into play with that AWP. I think they're just going to hold on to it, yeah.
Yeah, Pimp went for the long rotate. He almost had a chance to catch off Carrigan then, who was just focusing towards mid, but I think the footsteps may have given him away a little bit. But MSL does get himself a gun, as does Nico. So at least they get away with a little something. And already TSM starting to look around. dupreeh is straight hunting them down. He does not want to lose these guns. He's heading down back towards spawn, but I'm not sure if he's going to get this one. Look at that. Nico is holding the corner, and he's going to get on towards dupreeh, but giving away the game. But time is against the T's, and I think they might want to save their guns at this point, as Cadian gonna have to move himself away from that site. Takes a little bit of damage, but not too much. And we'll be seeing two still standing for the CTs. Picking up that one kill at the end then for Nico was so important.
Well, nonetheless, it is a great start for TSM. 8-3 already on the T side. This is going very, very well for them on Inferno. And they already generally have a very good defensive side. We'll see, of course, whether it's going to get tested by Dignitas. That's the second half. We've got another 3 rounds remaining of this first half. We'll see if it works out. Nico, with that AWP that he managed to rescue in the last round, is going to get smoked off, so not able to use it down mid in the opener. TSM a little cluttered at the bottom of mid there, and a bit of a change of direction. Looks like they're all going to rotate and go second mid, make their way in towards apartments.
Just taking the time, you don't really blame them. They're 8-3 up. They can take their time. They can test the waters, see where they fancy going. This is a great scoreline for them already. If they get any more rounds, it'll be a certain bonus. Considering it was Dignitas who had the T-sided round in the previous game that we were talking about. It's nice to see someone else being able to do it as well. Show them that we can just do it as well as you. But dupreeh and Zipnik's going to start lurking their way through. Pimp maybe on the receiving end of those two, if they do commit out here. And AZ just holding by that smoke. dupreeh desperate to find a little bit of a pixel on towards the side so we can make the play. Another smoke goes down. AZ knowing they're not here gives a good amount of information towards Nico, Pimp, and Kyobi.
dupreeh making some footsteps, trying to force somebody to show themselves at the end of apartments there, but Kyobi's not falling for it. Meanwhile, we can see here at Banana, MSL holding the angle, expecting the banana rush, but look at AZ, perfect position by the logs, gets out, gets one, gets two, doesn't get the third, but he's got the support of MSL. Oh, he didn't quite get the frag. 3 hit points for KGB. But that's enough information. They got one down, the rotate already coming. Nico will be in position before they push the site.
Yeah, but Nico with the AWP could get overwhelmed here, and that might just be the case. Gets tagged up, does get the one towards dupreeh, backs up. Oh, just whiffs the second there, sadly. But MSL will at least clean up with the 2, and time was certainly against them at that point, but a dangerous rotate to come out. But they know they're good for money to a degree, the CT side. They've still got a little bit of bank left to play with. They do have the AWP still in play for Nico. They still have all the M4s there. And the T side, okay as well. They're starting to build a little bit more bank, but that play from AZ to push down and lock down the bomb banana was just brilliant. Using the smoke, using the control, and just forcing TSM to have to do something here.
Good aggression there. Nico not able to find the frag down mid. Backs away, pop flash out, and return. TSM will slow things down a little bit. They haven't made any big apartment plays. They haven't been able to push out. It's B site that they've been successful on. That's where they keep hitting right now, which is probably why Dignitas have started to be a little bit more aggressive down that banana. We do see dupreeh once again. Look at this, waiting around the corner, but Kyobi is not showing himself. Got the perfect angle. dupreeh puts his back to him, and Kyobi will find himself a second. Zipnik's was the follow-up, and a clean pickup there for Kyobi. Barely took any damage, and that's already 2 members down. But that's Nico going down on Arch, and KGB is pushing through onto site.
There's still 3 players here for the CT side. MSL had rotated earlier, and those 3 remaining are doing so much work between them. KGB now left in a world of trouble. MSL puts him out of it. Beautiful, beautiful work for MSL there. But all in all, it's just good reach from Dignitas that round. They had all the players in the right places as soon as TSM started to make the play.
2 triples running for MSL, I think, there the last 2 rounds. So certainly stepping up for Dignitas. 5-8 If they can pull this back to 7-8, they're going to be very happy, I think, because it was looking pretty dire at the start. As it is, we're going to see Nico once again try and land the shot. No, he's going to go straight in towards, peek on towards second mid. Will be able to find it, and Dupree goes down. Grenade also going to find its target. Doesn't do too much. In fact, does nothing at all to them. Oh, Pimpin' Dark gives his position away there. Kirby covering him off, though.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to bait Xyp9x back in, but will they expect it now? Karrigan's just joined him, but stunning work from Pimp, just controlling himself well and avoiding that molly. Going to push a little forward. The rest of his team's doing the work, and he wants to join in on the closer. And it's just been really nice work from Dignitas. Once they got themselves back in the money, they got enough to support themselves thoroughly. The slightly slower play from TSM is just not seeming to break through. Dignitas are doing brilliant. Once they get in these positions, they're just doing so well. But the scoreline is still in favor to the T side, which is such a worrying fact.
Yeah, and it's never going to change this half, that's for sure. Final round of the half, though. Nico Pimp actually going to take himself the shot. Switch that AWP across to Pimp this time around. And he's going to be covering off those apartments, which have yet to really be tested. Kirby's been holding fantastic position there. Kirby, I should say. I keep getting his pronunciation wrong. It's one of those Danish names that I don't think I'll ever get my tongue around. But 6-8 the score currently. And TSM, well, they're up against a bit of a brick wall of Dignitas here. They've had some pretty solid defensive rounds the last few.
Yeah, Dig's starting to find a little bit more comfort. They still have a couple of smokes to play with, a couple of mollies to slow them down. So they're certainly waiting for TSM to make that play, and it might just be around now. You can see the flashes coming through, though. TSM being halted, Dupree getting taken low, and MSL is just laying away. The molly will force him out of this little cubby. I think Karrigan knows it, but doesn't see him through the smoke, and they had to make the play. 48 seconds now. The clock is running down. 4 players now present for Team Dignitas. They know this is the side they want. They've spotted the bomb, and Pimp goes hunting. He gets 2, gets the 3rd. Lockdown from Pimp from Quad, denying a step towards the side for TSM. Sadly, we're not close out, but Cage and B now in a 1v3. 30 seconds, bomb in hand. Not a chance in hell with Nico there. 7-8 as the closing score of the first half.
Good recovery for Dignitas in the final rounds there. Get themselves back in, and Pimp, brilliant triple kill. Switched across on the AWP as well, actually. I think because he had the proper spawn, I think that's probably why he went straight for it. But nonetheless, it is still TSM with the 8-7 lead. And now as they move into the pistol for the second half on the CT side, let's see how they handle the defensive rounds. Remember, TSM did come out picking up the pistol round at the start of the game. That's what got them the lead. And they really started off very well. However, let's see if Dignitas can do the same, as they're going to go straight up mid, it seems. But Keisha B already with that USP pops one head.
Just brilliant with that gun. We saw him on the other side as well, doing wonders on the pistol, so certainly showing his prowess with this. But the T side still have a lot of armor. They've got a Tech 9 on Nico, and that can just overwhelm these sides if they actually go for the full play. But Smoke just going to fend them off a little, slow them down. Still 1 minute to work with. There's still so many options available. It looks like they may be lining up to flash Nico in. I'm not too sure. He's chilling out backwards. I don't know if they even have a flash to work with. They do. It's on AZ. So AZ flashing them through, but on the other end it's Xyp9x, and Xyp9x just waited it out. Karrigan waiting with that 5-7, surely going to follow up as well, as they're going to start piling in. Team Dignitas need to commit here. 50 seconds on the board. Karrigan leaps forward, finds Pimp, and now just Nico alive, surrounded. I don't see him finding much here. No,
just trying to rattle off those Tech 9 shots. Did manage to find Katie in there. That was all they got. TSM pick up solid CT side pistol, and that's going to give them some more MP9s, MP7s as well in there. This could get nasty.
It certainly could. I'm a big fan of SMGs. What can I say? He doesn't love jumping around and doing absolutely silly stuff. I guess you got to counter the Tech 9 somehow. And at the moment, we're going to see that in practice, I can imagine. The Tech 9s for the Ts, a little bit of armor, a little bit of head armor, but that nade, oh my god, how much did that just take away? MSL, AZ, and KOB are all so low off the back of that, and Karrigan just weighing it out. Xyp9x baiting himself in the corner, spots out the triple nade coming through, doesn't do the damage, but Karrigan comes in, gets himself 2. And it looks like those Tech 9s are being put in their place.
Oh, there's the flashes, there's the smoke. He's just going to run out, gets himself 3! All too easy, and that will be TSM getting that round. The SMGs working wonders once again for them. It's something they've been working on, as has every team, honestly, in CSGO since that patch came around. But TSM definitely seem to have adapted it very quickly.
Yeah, showing that they are very proficient with it, and even sticking it in towards this round, knowing that the T side was struggling for money. They're going on the clean eco. They're just 1 P250 bought up for Pimp, and that is it. Everything else left aside. Those nades gonna really damn well hurt And I can imagine this might be another bloodbath. The Carrigan might be the one making it. That is 2 already. And, well, Nico decided to help him out by taking down Pimp.
Yeah, just sitting on the porch. And again, another clean round there for TSM. So 11-7. Now let's see what Dignitas can do. AKs, grenades, head armor, everything picked up. This is Carrigan just peeking out from the porch. And just a simple gun down, run and gun for them. 11-7 the score. Dignitas, after having a good comeback on the CT side.
I was about to say, they're still sticking with those MP5s and MP7s. They are that confident in them. Wow. I guess if you can push down and get early banana control like they're doing at this sort of crossfire range, it could work. Carrigan does get tagged up early, but still has a molly, has a smoke, has so much time to be gained. But look at the stack towards mid. It's going to be Katie who's going to be receiving and takes down Nico. So kind of doing the dirty work towards the opposition who's just been orbiting him not too long ago. So far they're holding this well for TSM.
Keep up my eye on Carrigan. There's also Cajun B here in dark. Peeked up upstairs and then back straight away. It was Pimp actually that's about to come around and again just tempting the shots, peeking around that corner but not checking dark. And that's why Cajun B is ready and waiting to strike. Now he's going to look here. Oh, he does manage to find him. Get dinked in the head, but Pimp manages to get away with it. Katie knows that he's actually being rotated on here. He is covering off this shot, but he's not going to be able to get the kill. And it's MSL that takes him down. Dupree is on site. He's got support coming from the CT spawn, so he just needs to hold them off a little bit longer.
It's going to be Carrigan being one of those support players coming through with the AWP. Bomb does go down, but the player tucked in towards the corner is going to close it with the double. And sadly for TSM, the SMG is not quite working out against a fully brought up T side.
Yeah, the AK is proving better in this battle. I think anyone watching from the balance team will be very much grateful about that one. 11-8 the score for TSM. Nico now with the AWP in hand. I think he managed to steal it in that last round. Let me see whether he stole it or bought it. Now quickly. Ping. Oh, Semmler, your buttons. You've reset your buttons. There we go. No, he didn't actually manage to purchase it. So we'll see how it works out for him. Trying to get the boost there, trying to get the peak. It's Carrigan that he's trying to look for, just hiding behind the car, but wasn't able to find that head. He's very much covered behind the board. Zipnik's so close though, keeping that rifle tucked in. So when they push around the corner, there is 4 members. This could work out so well for them.
They're so good at these pop flashes, but Zipnik's just perfectly times himself around it and gets 2 as they push through. I don't know how the hell he didn't get flash from this, but just managed to move at the correct time, gets away scot-free, and that is 2 kills picked up for absolutely nothing.
So well played by TSM there. They actually knew he was there. They even went for it, but they just jumped around him, and he still manages to get out alive. 11-8 still. TSM looking to try and make it 12, as this banana play is still happening, despite the fact 2 members down. They know that TSM have a solid setup, and Zipnik's just holding the pixel perfect angle. But the pre-fire could hit him, and it does. Nico straight towards it, straight to Spools, and it's all on Carrigan and Nubox.
That's what they can do here. The smoke does come out. He's going to be able to single out Pimp, which is a bad idea to allow him to run free. But now 3v2, Team Dignitas have at least control of the site. CT's yet to get in towards ruins as KD and Cajun B and Dupree starting to take that small control step by step as the last 2 remaining players for Dig try and hold on to this, and this could be a vital shot. Nico does not hit.
Yeah, he needed that one. KD is going to push through the smoke. He's flashed down Nico. Does manage to get in. That's the shot he needed to land. But Kiev could try and line them up. But Cadian comes to the rescue. The defuse will come through. And TSM will get themselves that 12th round on the board.
Yeah, TSM really starting to build that momentum now. Well handled on the retake then, Zipnik. So this is the moment. The flash just came through as he turned away to move around the pillar. He knew what was coming, and finding those 2 just stopped that B play in its tracks, and they had to be so cautious working their way back up and then having to take the site. Even though Zipnik's maintained so much HP, it was just too much of a tough task, it seems. And the T side now down to the likes of the Tech 9 there. You've got a Galil in play for MSL. It's not looking too pretty, and they just look like they're struggling to get any sort of control early on.
KD this time choosing to go towards B, expecting some sort of rush up there, and he will land the opening shot. That's all he needed. It was a 3-man stack there. Now his teammate comes in support. Carrigan's going to get a grenade landing straight at his feet. That's going to knock him down to 65, but AZ already tagged up with that Galil. He's going to try and poke up, but I think he's going to find himself bouncing straight towards Kiebi.
Yeah. Waiting out patiently though. Zipnik's Here's the man just sitting back. And this is the benefit of how passive the TSM can be. They're holding these smokes. They still have everything to utilize. They still have these mollies, 2 of them left up on this. So that's going to buy more time. It makes it so difficult for Team Dignitas to make any sort of dent in towards that B side. Xyp9x and Karrigan showing some wonderful prowess on it, especially with that early peek coming out from Cadian there, just to really help them out. And you can see Dig starting to have to look behind. They're starting to feel they have no control, but they have every single player here, and they're going to have to make a play, but they're reaching in slowly. They're not even going to flash out or smoke out. Now it's a little late, but they're a little further forward, but that flash coming through just caught off Nico. Karrigan finds one of them as they start pushing through. Xyp9x not giving away the game just yet. I think Nico knows roughly, but Karrigan peeks out at the perfect time, but down so low, can't find any more as Pimp's double just about claimed it. But Nico now left in a dire situation.
No, he didn't even get the bomb plant in there either. Cadian managed to cut him down, and through the fire and the flames got himself Pimp as well. So Cadian going for a triple in that round, working out well. And actually, you know, we talked about him so heavily at the start of the show. He's stepped up pretty damn well for TSM coming into this tournament.
Oh, he has. There's no questioning that. He's having a good tournament from start to finish. And he's getting to play with some of, you know, the premium players of the Danish scene there, so you'd expect him to be able to kind of assimilate well enough, but we're gonna have to see now Dig going for that all-in play. Cadian will be waiting to receive it. He's gonna be pressured though, and from the backside you can see dupreeh helping him out, and that is just a complete mow down coming out. TSM starting to look like they're gonna get this one in the bag, and I just haven't seen anything from Team Dignitas here. They seem to get close now and then, but the control always looks like it's TSM's.
Yeah, this is a pretty much closing out Inferno right there. Of course, that was simple eco. Well, it wasn't over in there. Trying to rush up there, but it's not going to work out for Pimp, unfortunately. 14-8 now. That smoke going to be an aggressive one once again. Let's see if they can get down. They've been down and dirty, deep in Banana a couple of times, and it's Karrigan once again. And look at him with that SMG in position. This is something that's worked out well for him twice already, although granted he used the M4 previously. Cadian just
that timing of the molly
perfectly there with a molly. dupreeh with a molly of his own will also get them. That was the first one that went down. Cadian got the second down, and that's just completely stopped them in their tracks at the top of mid.
And the amount of money TSM has built up, they don't even have to worry about this. Karrigan going back in for the SMG is just unbelievable, considering Karrigan is on 5.3k currently, so he could have certainly afforded to go for a standard gun. But KGB going to be questioned down by Pit, does pick up the shot towards MSL. Pimp, however, still breaking through. Seems to be the only one making a dent for the T side.
And of course, with that Karrigan going so deep, they could afford the full rotate. Now they need the full rotate. Xyp9x is there, but this is a 3-on-2 advantage for Dignitas. Around they could do it picking up. Karrigan's managed to completely rotate around the back, gets through quad, does get Nico down, but AZ cuts him short in his tracks. Xyp9x, they're both stacked, both behind truck. This is actually good for Xyp9x if he can land one of the shots. They're both in the exact same position. So that flash will work wonders. Pimp not flashed out, but will get taken down. And now it's between Xyp9x and AZ. Boosts himself on truck, tries to draw out the fire. AZ comes out on top. And it's a Dignitas round, and by God, did they need it.
That one little bit of work coming out from Pimp was so important then, just to give him that foot towards the side, because it seemed like the never-ending story of TSM in that game till this point. Finally getting around here, but it did take its sweet, sweet time. All in all, though, 9-14. TSM have money to just spend throughout this. T-side still going to have 2 Galils in there, maybe not the full setup they want. And this time Karrigan not going to go for the SMG, going straight in on this one. Flash comes through, but Karrigan not fully flashed, gets the leap out, get down one. Xyp9x, though, still in control, can slow down the T side and deny the easy push through.
And just to clip the wall, not sure he wanted to, but it will slow them down. The rotate coming out. He's going to have dupreeh in support. Nico, the sole survivor on the Banana, while everybody else has rotated. KGB is holding Pit, so that's covered off. Cadian also at Arch. Playing it deep on Arch, passing back. Knows he's going to be smoked off, so KGB is going to be giving all the information the moment they come around the corner. MSL, though, with the bomb. He's playing this one differently. It's going to be Arch that they push for. They're going to get themselves flashed out. Cadian not looking. Now he is. Now he's scoped. Sees one. Doesn't manage to land the shot, but the information was gathered. dupreeh was in position at Speedway. Does get one down. Gets the second down. Can he make it a third? It's, well, brilliantly done. And now, well, Nico was the sole survivor over at Banana. Has managed to work his way through. Let's see if he can get around the back of dupreeh. dupreeh holding the angle. Not going to expect him at the well. It's not your standard position, that's for sure. and more importantly, a 4K for Debris. Good covering there, and more really all about Cadian giving the information, and he was in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, Dupree started to almost rotate back towards A, which was correct, but then didn't push too far. He had faith in Cadian to at least be able to watch the cross, if not hit the shots, and he did just that. So, nice combination all around, but you've got to look at the T side now. They have zero money to work with. You can see left with a couple of hundred here or there, and just forcing up into this final possible round of the first map. They're going to try and just brute force their way through. Xyp9x has dealt with this so well until this point, and Karrigan as well, but can they deal with the absolute onslaught of those Tech-9s coming through, the P250s to follow? Nade spam comes out, and you can see Dig trying to just force their way forward, but every single step they take has been met with absolute force, and Nico now, last man alive, he's picked up two, he's got himself a gun, but they know where the bomb is, and he's surrounded on all fronts.
Yeah, he's got to try and creep his way in there as the grenade just trickles to his feet. They know where Nico is. TSM looking to close out map 1 in this best of 3. He's going to try and creep on through that smoke, but, well, it's just laid down once again. That was the problem. They've gone so fast on this one. TSM have got just about everything left at their disposal to keep Nico away from this bomb site for a lot longer. 45 seconds ticking on the clock. Cajun B just waiting for it, Nico, to make the wrong move. Karrigan's going to see him. That's going to be the round, and that is going to be the map picked up for TSM as they take the first one.